Good morning and welcome to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, today on the show, we've got a friend of the Sheriff's Office and a partner in solving crime.
A friend of the Sheriff's Office, a friend of law enforcement, and more importantly, a friend of our community.
Yes.
We could not do the things we do in law enforcement without this particular entity doing what it does to try to bring something to bear with respect to people committing crimes in our community. And it's so delightful to have an organization like that's been around for a while, that's made a tremendous impact in our community.
And I think this is of special interest to our viewers out there because this is how they can play a role.
Yes, absolutely.
We talk a lot about see something, say something, and the importance of the community being a part of it.
Big Ben Crime Solvers sets the stage for us in terms of trying to make sure that persons out there doing crimes and our community is engaged in seeing what's happening, can go to that organization anonymously and let people know what's going on. That's extremely helpful to us in our community.
Yeah, so we're going to be hearing from the executive director for Big Ben Crime Solvers. They've had a rebranding recently from Crime Stoppers to Solvers.
Solvers, yes.
So she's going to talk a lot about that today. But the other interesting component of today's show is we're going to talk about what that process looks like for people to report those crimes and get paid for it, but also the psychology behind whether or not people report those crimes.
Yeah, I'm actually interested to hear how that works as well. I mean, to know the psychology behind the crimes and the people committing the crimes is something I think our audience needs to know about. And we do in law enforcement as well.
Absolutely. Well, we got a lot to unpack today, so we want to make sure you stick around. Today's show is focused all on how to get paid to help stop crime. We've got details on how a simple call could equal cash. Stay tuned.
Good morning, I'm Deputy Davis Clark with Leon County Sheriff's Office School Resource Unit, here with your Safety Tip Tuesday.
To ensure this season is enjoyable, check out these safety tips. Use caution with candles. Candlelight creates a cozy atmosphere, but it can also be a fire hazard. Never leave them unattended. Make time for mental health. Seasonal changes can be difficult for many people. Inspect your smoke alarms. Fall is usually the time to change the batteries. This will ensure they are functional in the event of an emergency. Clean up fallen leaves. Wear long sleeves and pants when raking or handling leaves, and always check for ticks when returning indoors.
And that's your safety tip. Have a great day.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
In times of stress such as quarantine, what goes on behind closed doors can be terrifying. But you don't have to suffer in silence. Help is here. Love is not controlling. Love is not frightening. And love is not violent. Love is respect. If you need assistance or just want to talk, we are here. In Florida, call the Domestic Abuse Hotline at 800-500-1119 to speak to someone in your area. Or for more information, email the Domestic Violence Coordinating Council at dvcctally@gmail.com.
Another teenager, victim to fake pills. That smells like big crime that needs to be stopped. Before buying pills online, think about this. Should buying prescription pills be this easy?
Yeah, bro, I'm picking up. Same guy. I bet. Got you 5.
Think these pills are tested and safe? Think they're the same ones you get from a doctor? You know they're not. Did you know that fake prescription pills may contain fentanyl? And an amount small enough to fit on the tip of a pencil can be lethal. Listen, before buying pills from social media, think again. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org and go for real.
Hey everybody, it's gonna be just plain hot out there.
In 70-degree weather, it takes only minutes for the inside of your car to heat up like an oven. At 104 degrees, heat stroke begins, followed by loss of consciousness. Every year, Almost 40 children die of heat stroke after being forgotten in a vehicle. A simple change in daily routine is often the cause. Look before you lock. Brought to you by Kids in Cars.
Welcome back. Big Bend Crime Solvers is hoping the incentives of rewards of money will help solve crimes. Joining us now is Executive Director of the Big Bend Crime Solvers, Sharon Ofuani. Sharon, tell us about Big Bend Crime Solvers.
Thank you so much, Sheriff. Yes, we have a new name. It doesn't change who we are. As you mentioned, we've been around since 1984, and our purpose primarily is to assist law enforcement in obtaining information to solve a crime. Back in last year, we received some funds from the crime violence grant that the city was rewarded. We're thankful that they saw us as part of the solution in fighting gun violence. And so we got the grant, and so we set out to know how the community was feeling about us, what they know about us, and we found out, yeah, people know about us, some don't know. Young people in particular aren't really feeling us. They don't know about us, and they're certainly not feeling Crime Stoppers. And they said it was something about that name that felt like we were the police. So we went through a rebranding of our name to change it to Solvers to reflect more about what we do. We help solve a crime. You guys help stop that crime. And then young people, for some reason, it resonated. It felt like they wanted to be more engaged with us. And so our rebranding was all about improving our awareness, attracting new people, and young people in particular, to our brand.
So why do we need Crime Solvers?
Well, Crime Solvers serves many purposes within the community. Some that I can think about, we can't simply have cameras everywhere. And I certainly appreciate having the cameras and more of them. Yeah. But we can't have cameras everywhere. What we do have most everywhere is people. And one of the principles as Crime Solvers is that someone other than the criminal knows about the crime and has information. So we serve to have, one of the purposes that we serve and why they need us is because people need an anonymous tool to report crime. We know people are fearful of being retaliated against and all those things, and that's real, and we want people to be safe. But we also want people to know that it truly is anonymous. And that's part of our rebranding, getting the message out that you can report without having to be publicly known of giving it. I think one of the other things in terms of a purpose and why they need us is because people need motivating to report crime. And that's what we are trying to do in our new branding, is to motivate, encourage people.
So how can some of the people out there get involved with Crime Solvers?
We're asking people to do this, and it's really short. Tell it. Just tell it. Report crime. Tell your family and friends and that it's okay to report crime, and encourage them to do so. We're asking organizations to commit to spreading the word online and social media and all the tools that it has to encourage people to keep safe.
So they get paid now. So what's the process for those persons who turn in information to Crime Solvers? How do they get paid?
Well, not only do they get paid, they get $500 to $5,000. Oh, wow. And they get paid simply by, if you call in a tip, it is anonymous, whether you call it in, go through our mobile app or online. It's all encrypted. You call it in, we will give you the first code, and you must keep that code. We ask that when you call in a tip, make sure it is as complete as possible. You call it in, you'll get another number to call to check to see if your tip resonated into an arrest, and now you don't have to have an arrest, just that law enforcement could use our information, and then you're told where to get the, pick up your reward, and you get a second code.
How often do you receive this valuable information?
Daily.
Daily?
Daily. And in a month's time, we do an average of about 100 tips. And I can tell you that in the last 3 years, just a little quick, because people think it's not real, in the last 3 years, we've paid over, say, $150,000 on tips. We have made about 65 arrests. Within the last year there's been 21 arrests. And in guns, we have help law enforcement confiscate 25 guns, and 10 of them this year. So we know it works. We just want people to feel confident, and we say try us.
Thank you, Sharon. Coming up, why victims don't always report crimes and the help that's available. Stay tuned.
A 19-second conversation with a stranger online can put your child in danger of being exploited or abused.
Talking to kids about online safety can protect us for a lifetime. Don't wait. Talk to us today.
Well, Manny, it looks like it's going to be a close game today.
Absolutely, Danny. And with Smith on the bench, it's going to be interesting.
Man, you really going to wear that jersey in this house?
Agreed. And look at Marcus. He's looking good today, coming in hot with the veggies. Let's take a look.
Antioxidants, vitamins A and C, and fiber. But, oof, Curtis. There's a lot of wings there, man. Are there any veggies on that plate? Let's take a closer look.
High protein, low fiber, high salt.
Flag on the play.
Oh, but look, Kyle's plate still is empty.
Let's see what he's gonna do.
Now, Manny, he does know that the carrots are the healthier choice.
Look at that play.
A more balanced play. Small changes equal big benefits for your heart.
A healthy diet is a win.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
Little everyday conversations about the dangers of underage drinking can make a big difference in a child's life. Talk, they hear you.
At the Florida Sheriff's Association, we are able to serve our sheriffs and Floridians thanks to our member support. The FSA Member Perks program was created to give back to our members for all that they do. Members enjoy savings on restaurants, vacations, golf courses, car rentals, healthcare, movie tickets, theme parks, online shopping, and more. With over 300,000 offers, you'll always find ways to save. To learn more or to join the Florida Sheriff's Association, visit fsamemberperks.org.
Being a victim or witness of a crime can take a big emotional toll. We're back with Dr. Simone May, a licensed mental health counselor. Dr. May, tell us about your profession and what you do for crime solvers.
Yeah, so I am a full-time faculty at Florida State University. This is my 7th year there, and I teach in the College of Education in Health and Human Sciences, particularly in the clinical mental health counseling program, and I'm also a part-time therapist at a private practice here in town.
So what's the psychological impact of crime on a community or on the citizens of our community or the neighborhoods?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'd like to start just by acknowledging that reporting crime can come with a lot of fear, right? Just acknowledging that people may be afraid to report for different number of reasons, right? Their relationship to the perpetrator, the fear of retaliation, feeling unsafe, not really having information about how to report and what happens after they report. So I definitely want to acknowledge that. And then I also want to talk about like what happens when they don't. So if you can imagine someone holding on to a secret, having some type of information that can not only be beneficial to them, but other people, that's a heavy burden to carry. And so thinking about the level of stress and anxiety and distress that somebody can feel holding on to that secret, holding on to that information and not sharing it, it can lead to them also having feelings of depression. It can also lead to post-traumatic stress syndrome. Again, just holding on to that information and not sharing it can have a huge psychological impact on them. And it's not just about in that moment after the event has happened, but it can carry over into kind of create long-term effects on that individual.
So are you indicating that not reporting a crime has psychological impacts on both the perpetrator and the victim?
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, holding on to that information, not sharing it is a heavy burden. And also for the individual, knowing that you've done something that's created harm to other individuals. Again, you walking around with that, knowing that there are people who are hurting, people who are in pain. There's a community that's suffering because of that act.
So how does unreported crime impact the overall community itself?
Absolutely. So in the community, that is going to lead to a decreased sense of safety, right? I'm going to feel less likely to trust you, trust my surroundings, and the likelihood that I'm going to be safe in this community, which means that I'm probably going to be more paranoid. I'm probably going to isolate from you, from people, from family. One, again, because I'm holding on to something that I haven't shared that could be helpful. Two, because now I'm fearing my own safety. I'm fearing others and what others might do to me, how others might see me. And so again, it's going to lead to a decreased sense of safety, less trust, and again, bringing in more paranoia and isolation. And then when you're isolating yourself, it becomes a negative feedback loop. So now I'm less likely to report. That's increasing my fear, and that cycle just continues.
So how might our community encourage someone to support victims of guns, or where guns are, where violence is taking place? How do we entice or get our community to engage in that kind of circumstance?
Absolutely. I think one of the things is just bringing back the idea of crime solvers. They are here to help to decrease the stigma and even the fear of reporting crime, because like Sharon said, that's something that you can do, and it can be anonymous. So you can come, you can report, you can provide that tip and get paid for it. So I think that's one thing, right? Knowing that it can be anonymous, you don't have to let people know that you've done it, and you can release that burden. I think also there are community agencies, individuals like myself, therapists out there who are willing to help you walk through that, who can talk you through it, help you work through that anxiety, the depression of not just finally sharing that, but also working through the impact of it.
How can our viewers learn more about the psychological services that are available?
Yeah, so I think definitely contacting Sharon or contacting myself. Again, I'm at a local private practice here under Simone May, and I'm willing to talk with any individuals about anything they're experiencing, any questions that they have.
Well, Dr. May, thank you so very much for your involvement with this Crime Solvers and what you do in our community.
Thank you.
Coming up in our Deputy on Duty, the support team behind the operations of the LCSO detention facility. Stay tuned.
An email from the post office? How do they even know my email address?
They don't. This is a bogus email sent by scammers that looks like it is coming from the Postal Service, or even the Postmaster General himself. The email contains fraudulent information about an attempted or intercepted package delivery, and provides a link to click on to find out when delivery is expected. But that click can activate a virus, which can steal personal information such as usernames, passwords, or financial account numbers stored on the computer or mobile devices. Here are some telltale signs that an email is bogus. It contains poor grammar or spelling errors. It states that immediate action must be taken or there'll be dire consequences. It requests personal information under the guise of reconfirming information. The Postal Service does not notify customers about package delivery attempts by email. If you receive such a message, don't open it. Instead, forward it to spam@uspis.gov and then delete the email.
I'm a firefighter.
A teacher.
I'm a farmer.
I'm a barber.
A waitress. A mom.
We're all part of your community. Every day we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life. It's when you experience a moment of uncertainty. Something or someone's behavior that doesn't seem quite right.
These are the moments to take a pause.
Because if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
It's not about paranoia
or being afraid.
It's about standing up and protecting our communities.
One detail at a time.
Because a lot of little details can become a pattern.
We
trust our instincts.
Just like you should.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
In this episode of Deputy on Duty, we introduce you to the dedicated team responsible for maintaining the detention facility.
My name is Brittany Moore, and I'm the Sergeant of Support Services.
Sergeant Moore has 17 years of experience in the fields of corrections, and she spent over half of her career at the Leon County Detention Facility.
I have been at the detention facility for approximately 10 years, but I've been in this position for 5.5 months.
Despite being new to her position, she's already begun to make a significant impact on those around her, fostering a sense of positivity and warmth in her interactions.
When I come in, I greet my lobby staff, and with greeting the lobby staff, they give me the part that has visitation. I go do rounds upstairs to make sure the visitation areas are okay, and then I conduct my rounds in the warehouse. I conduct my rounds in laundry, I conduct my rounds in the kitchen, as well as conducting rounds where the vendors are, because we have several projects going on in the facility. With support services, we render services from the front of the building all the way to the back of the building. We support housing, booking, and as well as medical.
Even with the concrete confines of the Leon County Detention Facility, our dedicated detention staff seek opportunities to engage with our community through a variety of events and programs.
Well, a visitation is now in person. So opening up visitation, it has the community coming in. It gives them the opportunity to see their loved ones. We also do Christmas connection. We do the turkey drives, that we get involved with the community, as well as taking pride throughout the areas that we serve in the facility.
We're thrilled to share that one positive aspect from the pre-COVID era has returned. Community members can now visit their loved ones in person at the Leon County Detention Facility once again.
I didn't understand at first why would we go back to live, in-person contact. But just to hear the visitors say, I got to see my son, I got to see my daughter, and that made me feel good knowing that she's okay. And then, just seeing them, instead of seeing them on the screen and seeing them in person, it does affect them differently.
After nearly 2 decades in this career, Sergeant Moore has gained valuable insight about herself.
I've learned that I'm a people person. I learned that I like to help others, as well as whether if it's a defendant re-entering society, whether it's just a co-worker and they're struggling with anything, or one of my officers. I love helping people.
For those pursuing a career in corrections, Sergeant Moore offers this piece of advice.
Having patience, and everything doesn't happen overnight. Having patience, it gives you the opportunity to grow, to build yourself, to build your character, to build morals in yourself. And with having patience, I feel as if that I'm able to blossom, I'm able to grow and to flourish.
If you're ready to start a rewarding career at the Leon County Detention Facility, apply for a job today. Visit our website at leoncountyso.com. For Leon County Today, I'm Shonda Knight.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
Download the Leon County Sheriff's Office mobile app right now. Our mobile app makes it easier than ever to report a crime and get important safety alerts. You can also see who's been booked at the Leon County Detention Facility and follow reported crimes in your neighborhood, all in one convenient location in the palm of your hands. Download LCSO Connect right now. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play by searching LCSO Connect.
Welcome back to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, when we think about the Leon County Detention Facility, a lot of times we think of those frontline correctional deputies who are out there getting the job done. But there are a lot of moving parts within the facility.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many aspects of what we do in the Leon County Sheriff's Office Detention Facility with respect to we got locksmiths that are there. We've got people who are engaged in making sure the physical plant is taken care of. There's a relationship we have with the county in terms of how we get staff working in concert with the counties trying to do. So there's a great deal of work there. Something as simple as keys and locks, that has to be done by a locksmith, and we have a locksmith on duty. And not to mention the educational components of what we do and the number of people who are in our institution who are engaged in trying to get our the persons in our care and custody to a better spot while they're working with them. Just a tremendous number of staff who are working behind the scenes to make sure that we take care of and get those persons incarcerated back to our community better than when they first came in.
Absolutely, and you talk about the locksmith, and that's such an important job when it comes to a secure environment. And when you think about having, 800 or 900 people in your custody, even laundry can be a daunting task.
Absolutely, laundry is, and it's an important task to make sure that the inmates there get their clothing and don't get them mixed up with other people. That is extremely important, absolutely important.
So many roles, and we appreciate all of those support staff workers that are out there. And then circling back around to no longer Crime Stoppers, but Crime Solvers, and I thought it was interesting in their rebranding process that, that name resonated more with youth out there.
Yeah, I think that is a better move, solving crimes and making sure that people understand it's more than just simply reporting information, but when they report the information, we actually get a result from it. I'm surprised that the kids thought of that and embraced it, but I think it works, particularly in terms of getting the message out. And that's what it's all about, trying to get the message out to our people in the community to help us in law enforcement to solve crimes and put those people committing crimes behind bars.
Right, and that number, 850-574-TIPS, you could be eligible for award up to $5,000. And it was really interesting also to hear from Dr. May about the psychology behind that.
Yes, I'm not surprised, because obviously when murders are taking place or crimes taking place, there's an angst in the community. People are very much concerned about it. My phone rings off the hook. So I'm not surprised to hear that, but to understand that they are working within the context of our community through crime solvers to get that information out to the people in our community about the negative aspects of not reporting crime.
Right, and the help that's available if you're, hesitating to do that.
Yes,
so.
And to have a psychologist on staff there is a tremendous asset.
A lot of great information today.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we appreciate you all joining us. We'll see you back here next Tuesday.